David wondered if maybe the creatures had gone away for the winter, or if they had simply realized fighting these two wasn't worth it. But Kroner quickly dismissed the thought. He was certain they would return, stronger in numbers. A few uneasy days passed in silence. One night, after dinner, Kroner and David decided to kill time with a game of chess. But in the heat of competition, they made a deadly mistake. They forgot to turn on the lighthouse beacon. The creatures seized the darkness and attacked. David saw just how many there were this time. Even fighting side by side, he and Kroner couldn't last long. Their bullets were nearly gone, and there was no plan. Scrambling for survival, they retreated to the top of the lighthouse. Kroner was badly wounded in the leg during the chaos. It felt like the end. But just as the creatures closed in, dawn broke. With the first light of the sun, the monsters retreated into the sea. By daylight, Aneris tried to tend to Kroner's wounds, while David realized the grim truth. This was a fight they couldn't win. Supplies were running out, ammunition was almost gone, and time was against them. The next day, David spotted a ship far out on the water. Rushing inside, he grabbed the flare gun, ready to signal for rescue. But Kroner stopped him. He had no intention of letting David leave. That moment, Aneris attacked Kroner, desperate to protect David. Kroner wasn't just trying to keep David on the island. He wanted control. The island was his kingdom, and he would never allow David to escape and reveal Aneris to the outside world. The ship slowly disappeared beyond the horizon. David's chance was gone. Days dragged on. Kroner grew more violent, especially toward Aneris, something David could no longer stand. One day, David gifted Aneris a small toy boat he had carved from fish bones. She led him to a hidden corner of the island, where a real boat sat abandoned. When David confronted Kroner about it, Kroner admitted he had known all along. Years ago, survivors had arrived by boat, but none lived to see morning. The creatures killed them all. They had been carrying weapons, but their ship sank in a storm near the island. That gave David an idea. If they could retrieve the sunken explosives, maybe they had a chance. He proposed using an old diving suit to recover the cargo. Kroner refused, but David was willing to risk his life. Eventually, Kroner agreed, but secretly plotted to abandon David underwater, letting the creatures finish him off. They rowed to the wreck site. David dove in, the heavy suit weighing him down. The ship was shattered on the seabed, but luck was on his side. He found crates of dynamite. Then, shadows appeared. Terrified, David stumbled, unable to move in the suit. Kroner assumed he was dead, but the shadows weren't hunters. They were just two young creatures. Somehow, David managed to escape the suit and reach the surface with the explosives. Back on land, he and Aneris rigged 2 layers of dynamite around the lighthouse. The plan: lure the creatures in and wipe them out in a single strike. Months passed, winter came, and suddenly the attack stopped. It was as if the creatures knew a trap awaited. Kroner grew paranoid, accusing Aneris of warning them, and his cruelty worsened until David stepped in. Together, they devised a desperate final plan: leave the main gate wide open. Aneris would scream from the top, drawing the creatures in. The trap worked. Swarming with rage, the monsters stormed the lighthouse. David fought them off, buying time.